First I want to give I want to say thanks to Xavier Nation. Obviously we don't have students here right now. We're still on winter break, and I thought the crowd that we had tonight was incredible. And so thank you to Xavier Nation. I told our guys heading into the game that we would have to play 40 minutes against St. John's. And I know Coach Anderson does a great job. He's doing a terrific job with their team. And they play extremely, extremely hard. And they were going to press from the first second of the game all the way to the last second of the game. And I thought, the first half, because I've never coached against Mike Anderson. He said our guys had to get a little bit of a feel for the style of play. Obviously, you see it on film, but until you experience it firsthand, I don't think you get a real good feel for it. And I thought we turned the ball over, obviously, a lot in the first half. They scored several points off of our turnovers. I thought as the game wore on, we got a little better rhythm, how to handle their press. And then we could get our defense set, which was most important. I think they only shot, I believe, I want to say 32% maybe in the second half or something like that from the field. And I thought they had to earn every single point that they got there in the second half. I do want to give a couple guys I thought really stepped up for us. I thought Donte James obviously had a career high in minutes tonight, probably played more minutes tonight than he's played all year. But he's earned that. He's been terrific in practice. He's had a great attitude. That's where you earn my confidence and our confidence as a staff is in practice, and that translated right over to the game. And I tell our guys all the time, it's not about necessarily making shots. There's so many different ways to impact the game. And he had 8 rebounds. I thought defensively he was really good. He had 6 points. Again, he's a much better shooter than what he showed. He's got to get comfortable out there. But I thought Don did a terrific job for us tonight. Same goes with Kihei Tandy. Kiki, he's still not where he can be, and where he can help us. And, he made obviously 4 threes tonight. He can be a microwave for us. There's no question in my mind. But, he doesn't get the benefit of getting any, so to speak, warm-up games, right? He's just kind of thrown right into the fire. And I thought defensively he was pretty dang good. And then obviously he gives us that explosive scoring off the bench, which we need. But, each game's going to be hard in this league. And, again, I've said it before, I think this is the best conference in the entire country. It's an honor to play in it. And, it's going to be next game up. We're obviously happy we were able to beat St. John's today. But we're going to have a tough game coming up here with Seton Hall on Wednesday.
Travis, when you look at those turnovers, St. John's is known for its steals. Did you attribute those more to St. John's pressuring you or to bad decisions on your guys' part?
Yeah, I think give St. John's all the credit. I mean, that's what they do. They're elite at it. That's how they play. I thought we got better in the second half than we were in the first half. But give them credit. That's what they do. I mean, they do that to every team. But, again, I told our guys, like, if you have one turnover, you can't hang your head. You got to go immediately next play. Because you can't let 1 turn to 2 and turn into 3, because they'll just ratchet up that pressure constantly, and that's when they go on their big runs.
Can you explain what it's like to see kind of Don stick with it, and he checks out of the game and essentially gets a standing ovation? As a coach, I would imagine that that's a pretty rewarding moment.
Yeah, really proud of him, and again, I think I always try to see it through each guy's lens, right, and have their perspective. And each one of our guys were highly recruited. They were all the stars wherever they were in high school. They played all the minutes. A lot of them got a lot of the shots, and it's difficult. And we've had guys like James Farr, Sean O'Mara, who've stuck with it, right, and they ended up becoming really, really, really nice players here at Xavier, and they're doing great things now. And Don, he's stuck with it, and he's like I tell those guys all the time, man. Everybody wants to play, but you got to make me play you. And I've given him the crystal clear answer of how to get on the floor, and he's taken advantage of it. And so I'm really, really proud of him, and hopefully this is a springboard for him kind of moving forward.
If it's a springboard, will he be getting more minutes and splitting them with Jason Carter, or how do you see that? working together?
You know, Shane, I don't know. You know, Jay, he got in a little foul trouble tonight, but he didn't look like he was all there tonight. You know, and so I went with a hot hand. I'm going to play the guys that are going to help us win in that specific moment. And I thought that was Don tonight. But moving forward, I think we got to look at it. You know, I think if he can carve out a role on this team, you know, again, I think we're going to find a way to get him on the floor if he can be productive.
It seemed like your team got the post-Villanova message about rebounding tonight. What did you think of that area of the game? I think St. John still had quite a few offensive rebounds.
A lot of team, right? They had 14 total, 6 were team. I thought we were better. You know, Tyreek had a couple Superman rebounds where he went up there at the top of the square and just got it. Again, I don't want to say without watching film. I felt like they were hurting us off the turnovers, and then I felt like they were hurting us. We were falling asleep on the weak side, and they kept on cutting. I didn't feel like they hurt us as much off the glass, but again, that's without watching film yet. Better, but still not where we need to be.
Travis, that lineup of 1, 24, 13, 32, and 12.
Wow,
they were in the middle of
Andy, you lost me. Say that again.
It was
Paul Scruggs.
Don and Scruggs and Tandy and Najee and Zach. They were in the middle of comebacks in both the first and second half, I think.
Yeah, and I think we got to figure out those lineups a little bit, you know, and that's what all those analytical numbers are for. You know, which lineups kind of stay, you know, that's better offensively, which ones are better defensively, which is better taking care of the ball, and trying to figure that out. You know, and again, I think we got to continue to build our depth. And Kiki, I don't know how many minutes he played tonight. He played almost 22. Again, he'll get more comfortable. Zach, he only played 14 tonight. It wasn't Zach's night. Zach's been tremendous all year. I got all the confidence in the world in Zach Fremantle. But we got to figure out those combinations, which ones to go with and which ones to stay away from as well.
I don't know what you put on plus minus, but Dontarius was plus 16. He was your best.
Yeah, I think plus minus can be a little tricky sometimes, depending upon what lineup's in. Maybe you have another guy that's really hot in the game, or you know. So, but I will say that he had. I know this. I know he was plus 16 tonight. He had a big positive impact on the game with his defense, rebounding. He was fearless. And I think, again, against St. John's, you can't dip your toe in the water, man. Like, you got to dive all the way in, and Don did.
Travis, how big of a number is 9 made threes for your basketball team this year? It's
big. I mean, it ties us, I think, for the most we've had this year. I think 1,000 maybe we had 9. You know, I think. And we might have against UConn. I can't remember, maybe 8 or 7. But it's a big number. 9 for 27. I thought for the most part, Joby took the right threes. There was a couple threes. So Kiki was feeling it a little bit. So he took that one. He had that look on his face when it hit all backboard, almost all backboard. But, you know, not again, I think there was a couple threes we should have taken. But for the most part, we took good ones. And it's the way St. John's plays, right? You know, they're going to scramble. I told our guys, just drive the ball, land on 2. They're going to scramble. They're going to help. You got to watch for charges, which we got a couple in the first half. But that means drop-offs, kick-outs. Then if you're open, shoot the ball. Shoot it. Shoot it in rhythm. Shoot it with confidence. And I thought our guys, like I said, for the most part, took good ones, and we were able to knock them in, thank God.
Is Kiki the kind of player with the makeup, even though he is a freshman and his clock is a little bit behind because of his injuries, that you can see him as the season goes on in big games, where he could be a big difference maker, do you think, with his shot-making ability for this team when the games get even bigger?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he adds a different dimension to our team. And I've said it over and over and over again. And sometimes, you know, the fans may not believe me after a while. It's like, dang, he's just got to get comfortable out there. But he adds a different dimension to our team. He can shoot it from 30 feet off the dribble, off the catch. I do think as he gets more comfortable, too, you'll see him drive more. Because he's really good off the bounce, too. He hasn't done that. He didn't do that as much tonight. As he continues to get more and more comfortable, I think you'll start to see his role get expanded.
Was this another circumstance where maintenance on Bryce Moore?
You know, I thought his knee was good. You know, I always, you know, obviously I'll meet with I'm sure Bryce tomorrow, like I do with everybody on our team. But you know, he had 2 turnovers there early, and he just looked a little rattled against their press. And St. John's isn't going to turn on and off their press. He's got to handle it better. He's an older guy, veteran guy. He's got to be better. and he will be better moving forward. So, you know, we need him. He's a big part of our team, obviously.
When you get the chance to talk to your guys in the locker room, what's the conversation like? How do you frame this game today for them going forward?
I think number one, you know, we have to protect home court. You have to in this league. I mean, again, you want to enjoy every single win, but every game is hard. And I told our guys, if we want to have a chance to win this league, and that's our goal, then we have to protect home court. And we got to be able to take care of our bodies, right? Tonight, we got to eat right, we got to sleep, we got to get maintenance in the training room, because we got 48 hours or whatever it is, or maybe it's a little bit more, 2 days of practice, put it that way. All right, we got 2 days of practice leading up to Seton Hall, and we got a really tough Seton Hall coming in.
One last question about Donte. Did you see him hanging his head last year, or kind of showing his frustration about his lack of playing time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, and Don and I have talked about it very transparently. Yeah, I mean, but it's hard. It's natural human nature, right? Everybody wants to be out there on the floor, but you got to earn it. And it's amazing what happens when people are patient. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of Don, of his performance tonight, and how he impacted us in winning the game. Thank you.